Every pastor and every church is going to have an opinion about what I'm going to share today. I'm going to tell you what works for me, for my ministry, and the church that I'm working with. There are certain areas that I think pastors need to keep their hands clean of, their nose out of it, and not put their name on the dotted line at the bottom of the page. And those areas really deal with the finances and the legality of the church. So let me explain. Here in our church, we have a church treasurer, and then we have a financial director, and she has an assistant. We also have hired a CPA. And so there's a lot of checks and balances that go into the finances of our church. I am not privy to that. So I'm not an usher. I don't take up the money on Sunday mornings. We have ushers. And then as soon as that money is collected, it's immediately put into a bank bag and then immediately put into a safe. That is done by the financial director and her assistant. And then right after church, the two of them sit down, they count the money, they do the reports, they take the money to the bank through the night deposit. And so I am not a part of that at all, and the money is not on the premises for very long. The church treasurer takes care of all the POs, and then she works with the church secretary to request checks from the CPA. And so again, I'm not a part of any of that. Our checks are required by our board to have two signatures on them. I can't sign church checks. The secretary can't sign church checks. The treasurer can't sign church checks. So that's passed off to the board. And so when we have our checks that need to be signed that week, two board members sign off on those. I don't make bank deposits. I don't make any kinds of withdrawals. I don't do anything with the finances of the church. The financial director and her assistant keep giving records very private. I don't know who gives or who doesn't give. The only way I would know who gives in my church is if they told me, or if I see them put money in the plate or an offering envelope in the plate. But I sit on the front row. Nobody else sits on the front row. My back is turned to it when the plates are going by. So I really don't know, and I don't pay attention. At the end of the year, we get our new offering envelopes. And so I might see somebody's name, but I don't really pay that much attention to it. And I don't know when they give, how much they give, or anything like that. So I stay very distant from that. So I just don't know, which is accountability. It's protection. It's putting a hedge around me to protect me and to protect the church. Whenever our board has to sign a contract, I don't sign those contracts. We're getting ready to put a roof on our building. And so when we had to sign the contract with the roofer, I made sure that my board chairman was the one who signed that. We had a legal transaction that happened not too long ago, and that required two signatures. And so my board chairman and my board vice chairman were the ones who signed off on that. I just don't sign contracts that representing the church. And again, that's a hedge of protection and some accountability that I can never be accused of getting the church into a binding contract without somebody's approval. I can never be accused of spending money. Our roof is over $100,000 because it's such a large building. So I can never be accused of picking the contractor, signing a contract, and spending $100,000 of the church's money because I have kept my hands clean of that, and I haven't signed off on any of that. And then the board can say, no, the board did this, there was a decision made, and these are the two people who signed off on that. I know that there are some pastors who want to know. They want to know who's giving, how much people are giving. They want to follow up on that. I know some pastors who they want their signatures on everything. I know there's some churches that they don't have a CPA, they don't have financial directors, they just have a treasurer. Requesting checks and getting those signed is maybe an easier process than what we have here. But I'm just telling you how it works here and how it works for me. I would strongly encourage you that you have some checks and balances in place, that you have some things that are going to protect you and keep you safe, and things that are going to protect the church and keep them safe. Your reputation in ministry is huge, and you need to build that and you need to protect that. And you don't ever want allegations against you, especially when it comes to finances and the legality of the church. So keep your eyes wide open, keep your hands clean, keep your nose out of it, and don't be signing things at the bottom of the page. Hey, I love you, and I'll see you next time.